Welcome to another episode of Geek-Men and the Masters of the Thunder Nerds. I'm Dustin.
I am Bo.
And I'm Kurt.
That's right.
Hello.
So, hope y'all are doing well tonight.
Yeah, already.
Not bad.
I know who it is. It is. It's Jessica. Hey, Jess.
Hi there,
Hey,
Jessica.
I don't know you. You don't know me.
So, Dustin, I know I missed out. I missed out on some of the, or all of the other Thunder Nerds discussions throughout the past week, but I did see. I was watching your things you were posting when you were at PowerCon. It looked like you had a great time.
Yeah,
I did. It was good. It was a good time.
Nice.
I'm glad you posted your kids' video too, because she had like a lot of cool. It was just interesting to see the stuff that caught her eye.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I did not
Apparently
know that
it
there
was
was a
all-
full house
Right.
doll
Right.
of Michelle. Like, of course there was, but I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah, she's
So-
she's over there saying, look,
Yeah.
it's Michelle, it's Full House. And I'm just like, yeah, it is. I'm sure. Like, okay.
I got to
Not
talk to
buying it.
Brian. I got to talk to Brian. Shut
Now,
up.
if it would have just turned to Ted and started talking, then well, that would have been different.
You got it, dude.
Right? I wonder if that was a catchphrase that she
It was.
said.
So I've been talking about this in chat, and I was waiting to get a thing to put it in to keep it safe. But there was this thing that was on eBay. I saw it once. I did not know it existed. It was really cheap, and I didn't buy it. And the second I'm like, I should probably pick it up because I've never seen that before in my life. It had sold, and then immediately regret set in. I was like, oh, you're an idiot. Why didn't you just buy it then and there, like on the spot? Just find the money. It is. She knows what it is. So there was another one that came up, and it was in like pristine condition. And I fought tooth and nail with somebody. I have no idea who. But it's an original VHS poster to advertise Inframan on VHS. Like you can actually see it says available on video cassette.
Oh, hang on. Let me zoom in on this.
So,
oh wow,
That's pretty cool. That's nice, man.
and it's just the box art, the American box art, which I absolutely love. That's the first thing I ever saw of them.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
and this ain't doing it justice. I think it's like UV glass, so it's supposed to protect it. In
Yeah.
person, it's very vibrant.
Nice.
So
Nice.
You
already have a spot picked out for it.
I'm gonna get like a little shelf to put my my vinyl figure from China on, because I have like a really rare vinyl figure, because there's not much Inframan merch. There just isn't.
Right. You need to hang it on the wall behind you.
I could, like, I'm gonna do something with it where it's very visible and I can see it and just be happy.
Yeah.
Because I love it. Renee like snook pictures of me just looking at it. I'm just sitting there looking at it. It's gorgeous. And I was scared when I opened it up. I was like, this thing's fake. I probably just bought a fake reproduction. And then you flip it over and it's got like the nice foil paper, the Prism logo, just like the VHS and stuff. And I'm like, oh my God, this is totally legit. This is really nice. So yes, I was just waiting on the frame. That was what was taking so long.
Yeah.
It had just been sitting in this tube here for, just begging them, but I was too scared to open it up and look at it.
Oh, yeah.
And you got the head I sent you?
Yes, I did. I got the He-Man head.
Yeah, don't dox yourself. Yeah, Jess, she was telling me she just got a bunch of like autographs and like variant covers and stuff. She did like kind of like a grab box. You don't know what you're gonna get. There was a DBZ character in there that was signed. I can't remember who though. I'm sorry.
Android 16.
Oh, did she show you?
Yeah.
Thank you. It's like I know the characters, but I don't know the names and the lore and all that. But it came with some good stuff for $25. There was a lot of good signatures.
Oh yeah.
There. Ratchet and
Heck
Clank.
yeah.
Some fun stuff. So I'm serious. It's so I'm serious. I'm curious. You've got your Super 7 out.
Yeah.
I want to see what this thing looks like on the Super 7.
Okay. So this is the Superman or the Super 7 head,
It's not bad, but it's not Dolph.
but I'm just comparing it to the other. Where is the other Snappy Duo? Oh, they're not Snappy Duo. All right, so now I'm gonna pull this off and pop this on.
Drum roll. Like, I want your first impression. Does it improve the figure?
Well,
oh no.
We need some
Big
suspenseful background music right here.
I still need to put Spanish Flea on here. If you play it low enough, it should be fine.
well,
is it like 0.2 small or something?
No, it's just getting in the way.
Oh, that was my. You're talking about the mullet.
Yeah,
it's a bit.
The mullet
out.
never gets in the way, dude. The mullet never gets in the way.
But I had the same thing. Like, I can't really tilt the head up, but oh yeah, that's Dolph. Yeah, that was
Dolph
cool.
Lundgren. There you go.
it looks so good.
That's so cool.
And I mean,
yeah, again, not bad. Certainly better than the Masterverse, but it's still not. It's not Dolph.
Yeah, I mean the Super 7 one was better than the Masterverse for sure, but this definitely is Dolph. It looks insanely good.
I'm impressed with the skin tones and everything too, Mansion.
Yeah.
That looks cool. Well, thanks to Ace from Ramen for the review
Ramen
copies.
Boys.
If they're still available, man, go pick them up. If you got either the Masterverse or the Masterverse or Super 7 lying around, it's a vast improvement. Okay, so
Like, I honestly didn't think it would be that much of a difference, but man, it is.
Seriously, that's exactly what I said. I was like, holy shit! Like, that makes the figure. That's not like a little rinky dink, like anything. Like, the paint job on everything's great. So I'm impressed. It even looks like it has like the same like molding process as the other one. Like, if you look underneath the chin, like I know it matched my Masterverse. So I was impressed. Ace does good work, and that kind of makes me want the Marshall more.
Oh, I so want the Marshall, and seeing the pictures and seeing it in person. I mean, it was just incredible. And
I don't know if anybody's going to do Brave Star again. Who owns Brave Star? Is that Mattel? I'm trying to think if it was Mattel.
I don't know.
I should know. I don't. So Kurt, you said we had to watch Zapped. We had to watch Zapped.
I didn't say I had to.
Yeah, as evidence, we asked if anybody wanted to watch Zapped, and we're the only ones that showed up.
Right. And I'll tell you what, I don't. After getting through the Uninvited, how could you not want to just either see something else to wipe that from your mind, or see something worse to wipe it from your mind? I don't know.
Know.
Well, to be honest, I didn't think it was that bad. I didn't think, but also, this is coming from me. I didn't think the Uninvited was that bad either. It was different because I was like laughing and making fun of it through the whole thing. Just like just sitting there in awe, like, that was dumb. This is incredible.
See, I just, when people talk about going to see bad movies, it's like the whole point of it is the worse. You want it to be bad. The worse it is, the funnier it gets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway, we tried to. Go ahead. Sorry, Bob.
No, I was just saying, like, it was. I watched it at like 4:00 this morning. That is the longest hour 30 minutes. It was.
You said you had notes.
I have tons of notes, but I think Kurt should give us a brief synopsis of Zapped from 1982.
Zapped came out at the height of a few young stars, that were trying to break into movies after being very successful in television. So you had Scott Baio, who was Chachi on Happy Days.
Yeah,
and you
very
had Willie
baby-faced in
Ames.
this.
Yes. He's another Ralph Macchio. They aged the same progression all the way till now. Willie Ames, who was on 8 is Enough, which was, that was a huge show on ABC.
Mm-hmm.
I think Thursdays was a big night in the 80s. All the big shows were on Thursday nights. Cosby and stuff like Cosby, to bring that up, but at the time that was the biggest.
Well, Cosby was, man. Yeah. It dominated everything.
And and both very popular family shows.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of funny to me that they come out of all these family shows and they jump into movie roles, and one of the first things they do is Zapped, which is a simple premise. A high school nerd, doing experiments in the science department in the lab, has an accident. Next thing you know, he's got telekinesis, and
yeah, as would happen.
Yes, and you're either going to get bit by a spider and be able to shoot webs and climb, or you're going to have the power to make bras pop open. Which one do you really want?
I
would rather have the bras.
I want to see a remake of this where he does get bitten by a radioactive spider, but he still does all the things that he does in this movie. He uses his spidey
sense. That could
sense.
work. Yeah, maybe that would be Zapped 2. Things are being rebooted.
I think they had a Zapped 2.
Yes, I found that out in
Zapped
shock.
again.
Yes, Zapped again.
And then there was a 2013 remake, but I don't know if it was the same remake, but it starred Zendaya.
Yeah, that was a Disney movie, and I want to know. I want to know if that was just similarly titled.
Yeah. No. Yeah. I saw that. Yeah.
Well, Zombie, it could have been worse. I can tell you, it could have been an hour and 38 minutes worse.
It's all right, Zombie, man. There's 6 of us. That way, we always have a few people around, right, guys? Yeah, it's all good.
Yeah.
But anyway, Zapped. It was also another film debut for Heather Thomas, who was on Fall Guy, and he was a supermodel sex symbol in the 80s. And what's funny about this movie for her is that they were really nervous what it might do to people's impression of her. What kind of roles would she be able to get in television?
Yeah.
So rumor has it that in her sex scenes and nude scenes that it's a body double. That's the rumor. That now years later, it was came forth that no, that really was her. But
it was
still, so that simple plot for the movie. So you said you have a lot of notes.
Oh yeah, I mean, like we could just go over just like the basic, gist of the movie. Like, okay, so this movie has all the tropes you would assume. There's montages. I would even argue there's too many montages in this movie, which is saying something. Because I love me an 80s montage. You got the soundtrack that's seemingly written for the movie.
Oh my God. This has to be the worst soundtrack.
Thank you, because my note here, soundtrack sucks. It is.
Before I looked up who did the songs, the first thing I thought of, because Scott Baio at that time was also trying to become, a music star. Oh. And so when I heard that love song, when he's hanging out and the girl asks him, "Hey, what do you want to do after school?" And he goes, "I don't know, watch TV or mess around." And she goes, "Well, messing around sounds good." That montage and that song, I kept thinking, please let this not be like a Scott Baio tune. And thank God it wasn't. But
yeah, I got to believe in magic. Gotta believe in. Oh man, that was
someone owed somebody a favor or something.
Yeah, man, just put me in your movie. Well, I got a movie for you to be in.
I don't know,
Yeah.
but yeah, the worst soundtrack ever.
I have here some of the worst ADR I've ever seen in a movie. Like, I think there's one thing where it's Willie Ames. It's like dubbed over. I don't even think it's Willie Ames. It's like really early on in the movie while they're doing the credits still, and there's just this line that they dubbed over, and I'm like, God, his voice got like 3 octaves deeper. It was really weird. Worse than Teen Wolf 2. It reminded me of Teen Wolf 2 about how you just had all these things that were just happening, but there wasn't really a story or a movie going on. It was almost like a music video. Oh my God. Oh, if a combination of weed, booze, and horniness gave superpowers, John from the show, he would be Omni-Man. So that's unbelievable. Okay. So stereotypical movie. We were talking about things. It has a bully in it, and I thought for sure it was going to be this dude because they even introduce him. He comes in an assembly. He's like, "Hey, everybody, look at me! I'm causing a ruckus." And he looks like he stepped out of a Loverboy music video.
Yeah, he does.
But he's in another scene where he's giving the teacher shit. I'm like, okay, here's the bully of the movie. You never see this character again.
Right.
And I was like, so they didn't want to do like the dumb, the dumb jockey bully, punk, whatever, like they usually do. They wanted to do the, the upper class, slobs versus snobs.
Mm-hmm.
And they just kind of introduced him later in the movie. Which, by the way, I want to point out, this is him. He shows up later. He looks like he's got He-Man's head on Prince Adam's body.
Right. And he looks ancient. Like, there's no way he should be in high school.
Yeah, we got 3 more years of high school, guys. But I even argue that he is nowhere near the worst person in the movie.
Oh, no.
Up until a certain point, he doesn't actually do anything wrong.
Right.
And then even then, it's just they fixed some gambling at their frat house.
Right.
But the last time I checked, he's probably one of the few characters in the movie that did not commit rape. So I'm like, okay, so this is like how people joke about like the Karate Kid, like he was the real bully in that movie.
Right.
Like, he's the one that instigated all this stuff. This is a movie where it's clearly Scott Baio and Willie Ames are the villains of this story.
Right.
Well,
so
I mean,
clear.
It's written right into the plot. It says, he uses the powers for revenge.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, revenge on what though? That's what I don't get.
Everything. He's a nerdy. He's classified right off the bat. Nerd, high school, geek, science nerd. So right there, that since it was the 80s.
You're telling me this guy is a nerd? Are you kidding me? By the way, whenever he uses his superpowers, this is his face. And it looks like somebody just badmouthed Trump. That's the face he makes.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a conservative joke because he got weird.
Right, he did. Yeah.
And also him and Willie Ames in this scene, they look like weird cancer kids. I don't know why they look, because they're like in these like super childish outfits.
That's just how it was when your mother's dressed you out of a Sears catalog.
Yeah.
You don't know that's the pain. I'm telling you.
Isn't there like an obscene amount of Willie Ames t-shirt nipple? I feel like that high school was like super cold.
Well,
I'm just saying, man. Every time Willie Ames was in a scene, it was like there was nipples.
Okay. Maybe they had a nipple fluffer on set or something.
Nipple fluffer.
Maybe it was a thing. But this movie was originally not as raunchy. But again, everything goes full circle. With it seems like with all the 80s movies, because of the success of Porky's, they filmed additional scenes for this movie, and they were all raunchy scenes.
Thank you, because that feels like an actual explanation for why.
Right.
A lot of that stuff just feels tacked on. Like,
right.
just for no reason.
I was thinking that. It's just like, okay, so now he's getting revenge on clothes. Like, okay, he just randomly just takes off all the clothes of everyone in the room, and it's just like,
yeah, spoiler alert,
like
this movie ends like Carrie, except it's instead of murder, it's rape. That all the guys apparently seemingly just, they're like, oh, naked women, time to grab them. It, like, I think there were some teachers there too. Definitely the gym teacher. Scatman tried to do it with it in front of his wife, no less.
Right.
I was just like, wow, what is this?
that whole dynamic there, Scatman and his wife, she's just out of left field. It's like, like you said, so much going on.
Mm-hmm.
Let's pack all these television stars into this movie and give them any kind of role we can find them.
Yeah, and he's doing this because he's creating a diversion so his friend doesn't get beat up, who he's mad at. And I'm like, you literally could do anything as a diversion.
Yeah.
And this poor girl who keeps getting her clothes ripped off repeatedly in the movie, they give her one more go and they rip off her top again. And
every time it's the same surprised look. Oh!
Yeah, the pose and everything. Yeah, hands up. But yeah, it does. You pointed out he's like getting revenge on people. We talked about that montage where they're on the date.
Yeah.
And there's a guy flying an electric plane, and he just starts giving that dude shit for no reason. He doesn't even know him.
Right.
He's like, maybe watch this crash into him. Like, let me impress this girl because she knows I have telekinetic powers. I'm gonna crash this plane right into this doofus.
Hey, that's the sacrifice he's making. He's gotta impress this girl.
And then they're all like, all that fun stuff. By the way, when he creates his first diversion, when he's trying to cover up the fact that he has a boner and he doesn't want the teacher to find out, he pulls down a bunch of maps in the front of the classroom. And the students react like it's the funniest thing ever. And the music does the same thing. It's like, oh, isn't this hilarious? And it cuts to this shot of him. And this legitimately was my reaction at the time. I think I actually had my hand on my forehead like this. I'm like, what am I watching? You just have to imagine like a wacky soundtrack to this.
That's not all that. I think that's the same, that may be the same look he gives when he's doing the powers too.
Yeah,
let the hand fool you. He's not that. I don't think he's that multi-dimensional. I think he's got the one look.
I appreciate that Stephen King showed up in the movie. During that, by the way, they show. Okay, so that's shortly after they do like a boob reveal scene, like, look at the boobs, to these dudes that are being jerks. But they had just got done mooning them, and I'm pretty sure I saw testicles and stuff. And then we had to, they're a little too spread cheek and everything, and they're flying around. And that was at this point where I just got really mad at you, Kurt. I was just like, I'm going to remember this, Kurt. I'm going to remember this for the rest. We have a thing.
I'll never forgive this.
I feel like I'm talking too much. It does seem like. So you said you didn't think it was that bad. I'm not saying that you liked it, but
yeah, I don't know. It's like there was a lot of things. Okay, so first of all, one of the things that I noticed was, dear Lord in heaven, what were they doing in that makeout scene? Literally, biting each other's face, that's not how you. That's not how you're supposed to kiss. You're not supposed to eat their entire face
Yeah, I have a picture that's still from this because he's going to lift the shirt up and she is clearly mouthing the words "stop," and I'm like, there it is.
Look at Bo here. First exhibit for the defense.
That's not consent. She clearly said stop. It's very visible. And then he's immediately like, you can see she's struggling to keep her shirt down. Her fist is just shaking because the weight of his telekinesis trying to lift her hand up. Like, look at it. Enhance. Look at that face. That's rape. I'm sorry. That is.
I rest my case.
I rest my case. Good day,
See,
sir.
we need the Law and Order ding ding.
Yeah, seriously.
Wow.
I just got this. I think this is his best. Like, I'm using my powers face. That's like the best example.
That, you know what? I think that's I just realized this is rape.
Yeah. Oh man, I've done a lot.
What have I been doing?
His friend has done countless terrible things in this movie, and he gets mad at him. And then right after he saves him from getting punched in the face, he's like, "Hey man, I'm sorry about all that." And he's like, "That's okay." And then that's the end of it.
Right.
And I'm not exaggerating. It's literally summed up with, "I'm sorry." And he's like, "It's cool, man. Everything that you did in this movie is cool."
Because it shows the power of friendship, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, if you guys are some rapists, I'm not going to be cool with it. So you might as well just tell me now. Because, man.
Oh, you'd be the first to know. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, my God. But I think the biggest, what?
Kurt and I have disagreed so many times that we've actually not like punched, but we've like physically yelled at each other. Well, that's the only way you can yell. But anyway,
yeah,
we've yelled at each other from across the room, like, "You suck," blah blah blah, and then we're just like, "All right, yeah, we're cool."
We go for lunch
afterwards. It's like,
it's a guy thing. I get it, but yeah,
screaming at each other, but also chatting online at the same time with each other.
Yeah, right, exactly.
Let's see. Okay, I got this. I'm running low on notes. Oh yeah, the part playing, no reason. Gotta believe in magic. Oh, during that scene, that song is playing. The rape scene. This, and as soon as that hand goes up and everything, you hear the lyric, "Something stronger than the moon tonight."
Oh, okay.
I really don't think there was.
I doubt it.
No, I think so. Do you really think that they were that smart?
Yeah, I mean, like the editor might have had some brains to it, but who knows? I heard Jazz from Transformers say "suck it," so check that off the list of things I never thought I'd hear. Okay. So this girl, the reason they're going out, and she knows because she actually confronted him, right? And immediately she's like, "You got to tell everybody this. We got to study this."
Right.
His immediate response is it looks like he crushes her glasses, right? I'm pretty sure it was so fresh. I'm pretty sure he was trying to crush her skull. I think that was attempted murder and he just failed.
It's possible.
He did it to his dad, too. It's just everywhere. It's like this is a comedic version of Carrie. It really is. And I have to wonder if that was the point.
Like I think it's supposed to mirror Carrie for sure.
Because, yeah.
It definitely felt that way.
It feels like a comedic version of Carrie that's not funny.
Right.
Carrie is funnier than this. Also, that girl was more of a scientist than he was.
Yeah.
Like, he's supposed to be this big brain scientist, and she's like, her first thoughts are, "Well, can you do this to liquids and gases?" He didn't even think to try that.
Right.
Come on. Teenage boy, what would be the first thing on your mind if you got superpowers?
You know what?
Money?
Probably to remove bras.
Yeah, buy a monster truck and remove some bras.
Right.
I don't know, man. I think it would be closer to that movie. What was that movie where that dude got superpowers? And it was like a pseudo, like, found footage documentary.
Oh.
You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah. What was that movie called?
Like if this kid's a bully and he's out for revenge and stuff, I feel like it would be like Carrie. Like he would be going in and crushing people's skulls without them even knowing it.
Oh, are you talking about Brightburn or
No, not Brightburn. But
the
that's
found
kind of
footage one?
Yes, the
where
found
they're all like
footage one.
telekinetic and whatnot.
Yes.
Yeah.
I've never seen the movie. That's the problem too. Is I can't.
Yeah, I can't remember what it's called, but I have it and I really like it.
But this is the worst thing. And should have been like a signal to everybody that Scott Baio is a terrible person. He's evil and there's a darker layer. Who wears a shirt with 2 breast pockets?
I don't understand that either. That actually honestly popped into my head. I'm just like, what? They made shirts
Thank you,
like
Zombie.
that?
Chronicle.
Chronicle.
That's it.
Yeah, thank you.
That would be very useful.
Yeah, if you want to keep a Reese's in each pocket, I guess. I don't, and you still like to have 2, but you like to do the singles. I don't know why you would have 2 pockets. 2 packs of cigarettes would look extra cool at school.
No,
you roll those up in your sleeve.
These really long sleeves. I'm so curious.
Only if you got your hair slicked back, you roll your cigarettes in your sleeve.
Yeah, that's true. I was never one of those hair slicked back cigarette roll up type dude. So
my hair was too thick. I would have looked like Kramer.
Full on Grease.
Yeah, you probably would have.
Did you sing a lot of musical numbers back then, Kurt?
No, he hates musicals.
Let me clarify. I hate musicals, but I liked Grease because I was a young kid when I saw it, and it was like humor that a kid shouldn't see at that age. So I thought it was cool as hell. But then when I was older, my daughters liked it and would, it was probably very inappropriate for my daughters to be watching it when they were young, but they would sing and dance and, it was fun babysitting time.
Yeah.
But
there are some questionable lyrics in that.
Sure there are. It's
Did you put up a fight?
Tell me more.
Tell me more.
Tell me more.
I'm not a musical fan.
Which makes me think I should have chosen a musical for my birthday week.
Well, before we get to that, I do want to let everybody know. I was thinking, about. It just seemed after watching this movie that maybe everyone else thought before I realized it. But I mean, sure, we were going over a lot of '80s movies, and with the exception of Corvette Summer, a lot of these are just overlap. It's like I said, here's a template of what's going to be funny for at this time. And it's all going to be these same things, but weave your own little stories in between. So, Dustin, of course, you said your birthday is next week.
Yep.
And so you've already picked the movie for this week. But after this, I'm actually going to jump out of the 80s and go into the 90s. Before, of course, October comes. And then that's going to be that's going to be fun.
Horror month.
Stuff like that, yeah. But this week, Dustin, first of all, your birthday.
Yeah.
When is your birthday?
Would you like to know more?
The 25th.
The 25th.
So next week,
you're going to be 32?
38.
38? No way.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm old as shit.
Nah, you're just a baby.
Well, I'm old as shit.
But goodness. Yeah, so next week,
tell us.
I choose the movie.
If it's The Princess Bride, I'm going to kick your ass. I'm going to come through this screen. I'm telling you.
It's The Princess Bride.
I know he was going to do it. It's tit for tat. You made him watch Porky's. Did he mute yourself? Did you mute Kurt?
You're muted. He's muted.
He's so angry that he muted himself.
Sorry.
Can't unmute guests.
I should have seen this coming. Okay, I'll tell you what. I will watch this movie again, this time with an open mind.
Right. It's such a good movie. I've watched it so many times.
Yeah,
I
it was a
can-
staple as a childhood. Like,
Yeah.
I just liked it, and I didn't realize as I got older, I liked more and more about it. Oh yeah,
Yeah, we need to do the nerd rage thing.
yeah, that was totally his reaction. Where is that at? You have to watch The Princess Bride.
Fucking goddamn it, we're fucking mad about this!
Oh man,
There's
that's
so
okay.
many good things about this movie. I love it.
Yeah, we
I-
have
you know what? I may
three
come-
things from
I
here.
may be surprised. I may be surprised and just come back, Dustin. Oh my gosh, I don't know why. I don't know why I ever thought that, but yeah, my kids loved that movie. And,
Oh, jeez. Jessica.
you know what,
you
Jessica?
disappoint me.
Don't do
Everybody has
do it.
blind spots.
it. Don't do it.
No,
I'm telling
everyone
you,
should
strong.
watch it.
There's a reference. There's kissing.
Oh yeah, all right.
Is this a
There is
kissing
Andre
book?
the Giant. There is Andre
Yeah.
the Giant.
Oh yeah, he's great at it.
Carrie Oles? I mean,
Manny
Oh.
Patinkin, like
Yeah,
is
Manny
fantastic
Patinkin
in
is-
it. Christopher Guest. There's a lot of great people in the movie.
so beautiful.
That is one of the coolest celebrity names, man. Mandy Patinkin.
Manny
Mhm.
Patinkin.
I've always liked that name.
He has a great cameo in the Mr. Show movie. I won't spoil it for anybody, but it really helps if you've seen the show. But even if you haven't, like this kid,
Bob
like
and David.
his scene in the Run Runny Run is
Oh,
just
man.
so.
I do want to see that movie.
I have a hardcore Mr. Show, Kids and All, like they're neck and neck as in terms of my favorite sketch comedy troops.
I'll tell you what, man. That was when I first met Dustin. I was trying to get him to watch a bunch of Kids in the Hall.
Kids and
Clips.
All is wonderful.
Kids in the Hall is
Actually, their movie, I have it on our list. I hope it'll get picked one day. Like Brain Candy is, it's my favorite comedy movie.
I've watched several of sketches from Kids in the Hall. Isn't
they're all on YouTube. Like I mean,
Yeah.
officially, like you can watch them.
Isn't a gallon of PCP and grape you in the mouth? Isn't
No,
aren't
that's-
those Kids in the Hall?
That's Whitest Kid You Know.
Yeah, why does Kids?
Yeah.
Okay.
Kids in the Hall is Running Faggot, Running Free.
That one, which they
they, you know-
edit to. Don't watch the ones that are like with ads.
Right, you do edit that out, and it's
I
not
mean-
even. It's
Oh,
not
go ahead.
even. It's Running Faggot. So just for the word, they cut it out. But I mean, I have a gay daughter. She thought it was hilarious.
Oh
You
no,
know.
it's poking fun at people who are uncomfortable with the word,
Yeah,
and it's performed by
It's a
Scott Thompson.
time-
Who
time traveling gay man who keeps showing up at these very important times throughout history.
it's never heard of the Kids in the Hall, Jess. I'm a nerd, and I made a super playlist of everything that is available in chronological order to watch, including the movie, which is on YouTube for free. If I will put that, I will share that list with people who want it. It's not in the description, but
Yeah.
Bo, did you ever watch? The State?
yes, huge. Yeah, because I freaked out because Larry Kinney, who came on, his daughter's in the State, and I did not know that was her. Because he did
That
the
is a funny
opening, he did the opening announcements on those shows, and I was always like, I wonder how he got that job. And then as you know, I was doing research, and I was like, holy crap,
Yeah, that was
His
a funny
daughter
show too.
is in the State. That's like one of my favorite moments from that interview because he just went full dad mode. I was just trying to ask him like what it was like to be their dad,
Right.
like if they were like doing the voices. He spent like the next 20 minutes talking about his daughter,
Right.
and I just thought that was the sweetest thing ever.
Yeah.
He's just like, oh, I'm so proud of them, and they're so funny and all that. I was just, wow. He outed. But yes, please, Kids in the Hall, man. It's SNL is the one that gets the most love here. and I get it from the 80s and 90s, but Kids in the Hall, it's no competition.
Oh,
Was your
that's
kid?
true.
What was your dog humping you again?
I turned around, and because I'm not paying attention to him, he was about to start eating my pillow.
Did a smaller dog come out of that dog and it was bigger than the original dog?
Yeah, it is possible that could happen.
Man. But yes, my final
Right.
thoughts is Zapped. I'm curious about there being a sequel.
Yeah,
But I'm not going to watch it.
It would be interesting. You would probably not get honest, real answers. You'd get the politically correct answers. But it would be interesting to go back and interview some of these stars from some of the movies, like Zapped, and say,
Yes.
looking back at this now, could you make that movie now? What do you think about that role now?
I would like to know if somebody came up with a Zapped DVD, Blu-ray poster, anything, would they actually sign it, or would they be just like, I don't know?
right.
Because we talked about it last week. Like Scott Bay, he became like a very conservative, political-esque figure, very open, and Willie Ames became like a hardcore Christian and played Bible Man. Christian superhero, so
that's the reason right there to bring back Celebrity Deathmatch. You get Willie Ames versus Kirk Cameron.
who's the I don't know. It's probably, even though he played Bible Man, Kirk Cameron is probably the most Christian celebrity that's ever been Christian, other than, of course, Jesus Christ.
Okay.
True.
But yeah, man, I don't think you could out Christian Kirk Cameron. I don't think it's possible. But yeah, you were talking about how it was surprising that they did this. Like, I wonder if it's because every Disney kid had to do this as well.
Yeah.
It's like to get out of being a child star, you've got to do something that's like, look at me, I'm an adult.
Mm-hmm.
Oh God, yeah. That either breaks your career or makes it. I mean,
yeah.
Look at Saved by the Bell. Elizabeth Berkley went off and did that movie where she was a stripper, and it tanked. And then I didn't see her again until she was playing a really bad role in CSI Miami.
Yeah.
And that was considered a comeback for her. So.
Yeah, all of them. I think all of them do. I know even what's his name that plays Zach Morris, same thing. Mm. But yeah, you can't go and do. I mean, I feel like Kurt Russell's the best example because he went off and did Escape from New York, and then he just was a different person altogether.
Yeah,
people just looked at him so differently.
Yeah, I mean, he's gonna be in the main character in the new Apple TV Godzilla movies.
Yeah, man, right. I'm excited about that because him and his son are going to play the same person.
Yeah, and
they did that in Soldier, and I thought that was cool.
Yeah,
because they do look so much alike. So yeah, I'm excited to see them and see that.
I'm excited to see those movies. Like, ooh, looks good.
Zombie, the Showgirls was the scariest movie I've ever watched. It was, man. The Showgirls, that movie is manic.
I've never seen it.
It's crazy. It's so crazy.
And like Jessica, I've never seen Labyrinth.
Labyrinth is different. If you like David Bowie, you'll like Labyrinth.
Yeah. I love Labyrinth. I think that's a great movie. That's one of those great dark fantasy movies.
A Never-Ending Story you just have to watch because you've seen so many memes from Never-Ending Story.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen that a long time ago when
Jessica said she hadn't seen that.
Yeah, but yeah, I think it's a good movie to watch. But
I miss we lived through that great era in the 80s of dark fantasy movies.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we were talking about it with like Sword and Sorcery. Yeah, there was great dark fantasy, and I don't think we've had any like really
Beastmaster. I mean, there were so many
knockout Sword and Sorcery type stuff, except for Lord of the Rings. I think that was a mic drop. It's like really hard to top Lord of the Rings.
Yeah. There was another movie, and
I
it's
guess why Conan keeps failing.
Conan.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And I'm
Yeah.
also He-Man. Like they're really still trying gung ho to get, especially after Barbie.
Yeah.
Like they want to get a Masters movie made, but
I was just thinking about that the other day. It's like, now that Barbie's had the success it had, are we now going to see toy movies? Toys brought to life. Is that going to be the next big thing? Like, are we, Stretch Armstrong? I'd go for a Stretch Armstrong movie. Dustin, did you ever have a Stretch Armstrong?
No, I never did. My
they
mom
really
didn't want it in the house. She's
My
like, "Yeah," and then
mom,
it breaks,
my mom
and then
didn't want one. Yeah, my mom didn't want me to have one because one of my cousins had cut the hand off of his to see what it was, and it was literally just green slime.
yeah.
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 I used
Yeah,
to
my
have
mom was so opposed to that.
the vacuum one that they brought back in the 90s when they brought him back. The one that you could it was filled with beads and you could suck all the air out of it. He was a bad guy, and then you could stretch him and he would just stay that way.
Yeah.
I thought that was a cool.
Yeah,
I can't remember
that'd
what his
be cool.
name
That
was.
would be a good movie, Stretch Armstrong.
I feel like that's actually been on the list for a long time. But yeah, when it comes to toy movies or movies based on merch, there's not a lot that are good.
They could go the whole. They could go.
Yeah.
They could do the Evil Knievel route.
Plus, how many good
We already did.
Transformers movies are there? I would argue maybe 2.
I don't know. I thought they were all pretty decent. I
Yeah,
mean, considering
I like them for what they are.
Yeah, I mean, you just
I
watch
haven't
them
seen
because
the
it's
last one.
Yeah, I haven't yet either.
It's
Where
bad.
they're in the woods with wolves and stuff or whatever.
Oh, dude, the Maximals were so awesome. Like when
that was a great show.
When I
Beast Wars
was growing up, Beast Wars was the thing. Like it was so cool, and I don't know, it just felt awesome.
Beast Wars is a good band too. Check out Beast Wars. They're a good band, heavy band. Yeah,
and Beast Machines. See, I just didn't. But I guess it's just not for me. I did like Optimus Primal, but I don't feel like he got a lot to do in the movie. He's a better.
Bumblebee?
Yeah,
Bumblebee's great. Bumblebee's easily the best live action Transformers movie because they understood just set it in the 80s. It explains all the stuff that you have to change in order to modernize it. You just don't have to do that. Just set it in the 80s, and it was great.
Yeah.
That opening scene where it's on Cybertron, that's the best live action Transformers. I know it's CG, but that's like the best that's ever been put to film.
Yeah.
And then Bumblebee was it was a decent story. I liked it.
Yeah. No, I thought that was a good movie.
Make out them transforming.
Yeah, that's kind of the weird thing. You know how they transform. A lot of it just seems like a bunch of splinters just falling apart and then rolling back up into a different thing altogether, and it's like, all right.
Yeah, I always thought it looked like, whenever there's like a really bad tsunami and there's just like rivers of debris.
Yeah,
like to me that's what it looks like.
Yeah,
you're just moving pieces and then it's a thing.
Whatever happened to Transformium?
What was that?
Remember, it was the whichever Transformers movie had Mark Wahlberg, where he had Optimus Prime in the barn, bought him at a movie theater. That one. And there was a Transformium. Yeah, the Element, that it was a new breed of Transformers, and it was like it was very reminiscent of Terminator 2, where the guy would get shot and then he'd turn to liquid.
Okay, I know of it, but I've never seen it. Maybe I know what you're talking about now. The one that are just like shifting pixels, basically.
Yeah, exactly.
And they could just be anything they want to be.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't remember that.
She says the last night, which it could have been. I don't know. I didn't. The Bayformers are the ones that are hard to watch for me. But if you people enjoy it, fantastic, great, good on you. I'm happy for you because there's a lot of them. I'm trying to think of like successful toy movies.
Toy Story.
I mean Toy
literally
Story.
in the title.
It
Well, I mean, they also did Battleship. Which-
Battleship. Oh, if we're going board games, Clue. Clue's a great movie.
The 80s Clue?
Yes.
There are 4 different endings depending on which theater and which part of the country you were in. When you went to the theater, you didn't know which ending you were going to see.
Huh.
It was a cool concept because it's not like, now you would know all 4 endings the day after it came out.
Right.
Back then, you had to go and hope you can find another theater and hope you saw a different ending.
Plus, it was just very clever to structure the story in which every single answer could be possible.
Yeah.
Because that's a lot of characters to keep up with.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, they made it funny. Genuinely funny.
And this is the movie I was going to bring up. Small Soldiers.
Yeah, it's like, did we count Toy Story and Small Soldiers? Like, they did become products.
Right.
But I feel like it was backwards.
I want to see the new Small Soldiers.
Yeah.
The thing
dying
that
to figure out what that is.
Oh, dude, I've asked them to come on the show.
Yeah, same.
I hope they do. I hope I can get someone to come on the show because I just want to talk about that. Like just the trailer and stuff that they have going on. It looks so awesome. It's like, first of all, we need merch. Like, I want those figures.
Plus,
even though I can't afford them.
That movie is secretly a Spinal Tap reunion movie.
Oh, really?
All the members of Spinal Tap do voices of the. Oh my God, I'm gonna lose some credit on that. Gorgonites. The Gorgonites.
Okay.
3 of them are the Christopher Guest and Michael McKean. And
Spinal Tap is one of my favorites.
Oh, that's a perfect movie.
Just as he's running around in the basement trying to find the stage. Hello, Cleveland. Hello, Cleveland.
I always laugh so hard during the bass. The bass Odyssey, the bass jazz Odyssey.
Yeah.
Like the actual bass playing where it just gets like, whoa, whoa, whoa. I laugh. I lose it so hard.
Yep. In it was either 1990 or 91, they re-released the movie. And Spinal Tap recorded an album. And there was a Christmas song on there, Christmas with the Devil, which was ridiculous, theatrical. But I was working at the Improv at the time, and right next to the Improv was Nautica Stage, Powerhouse in the Flat. So Spinal Tap came through, so I got tickets to go see that, and everything they did in the movie, they duplicated, and if they couldn't duplicate it exact, they did little things. Like Stonehenge was run during the song, it was delivered on stage by a UPS driver, and it was like in an envelope about that big. But when they came out, when the band first took the stage, there were 4 black and green pods, and all 3 open up except the bass player who's struggling the whole song, his arms out trying to get stuff like that. But what a lot of people didn't realize is they are real musicians. Those guys played every single note, and true to the movie, throughout the movie, they talk about all their drummers that died. And during their set, explosion behind the drum kit, and they pick a guy, obviously a plant, out of the crowd to come and finish the set. So, Nigel's Marshall amp was like 15 feet tall, and so that was a cool memory since you brought up Spinal Tap.
Man, I'm jealous. That sounds awesome. Because I
love
those
Spinal
guys.
Tap fan, you have to watch, which you're either gonna love it or hate it, Mighty Wind.
Yeah, I was going to say that any of the Christopher Guest movies are fantastic. Yeah. He's overdue to make another one.
So many people that I've recommended Mighty Wind to have told me they never would watch another movie and recommend it again. But then there's a few like you, Bo, that liked it.
No, you have to understand. It's just the same structure. It's a mockumentary about like folk singers, and again, they're playing their own music.
Yeah,
and that got nominated for an Oscar for Best Song.
Yeah, and anything with Fred Willard, you have to watch.
Legend.
Yep.
Legend. Maybe that's why there hasn't been another Christopher Guest movie. It's like Fred Willard's not going to be in it, so.
All right.
God bless him.
And so your birthday, Dustin, are you? Will there be a pizza party?
No, my brother-in-law's coming over, and we're gonna play some board games.
Oh,
You
nice.
can't
Probably.
have pizza.
Clue.
Your brother can't have pizza. I take it.
No.
One guy ruins it for everybody.
Oh, I'm that dude too. I can't. I'm really lactose intolerant. I can't do it either. But I always just tell people like, don't mind me. Have fun.
Right.
I don't want to be catered to.
No, I'm. He's down for pizza, but I don't know if there will be. But anyway, we're just gonna hang out. Probably play Cards Against Humanity. I think that's what we played last time.
He says that, but they're going to play Mystery Date. Which one will it Dustin get? Open the door to your mystery date. I hope it's Steve. I actually don't know if Steve's a choice in that game. Well,
Sure.
It's either that or what's the equivalent? What was that one in the 90s that was a phone call and you
Telephone.
called boys?
Yeah, telephone.
The one where you call the boys. That one.
Oh boy.
I can't remember. Well, okay, so we will watch. I'm happy to watch it. But I actually don't need it's one of those I don't need to watch. I've seen it enough times, but I'll probably just
I will watch it. I will watch it, Dustin, I promise. With an open mind.
Yeah. You better. I've watched how many of your crappy movies? This
Very true.
The funny thing is it not Rob Reiner?
Yeah.
So that's I'm pretty sure it's director of Spinal Tap.
There you go.
Both movies directed by Rob Reiner. So yeah, I'm curious if it's been such a thorn in the side of your friendship, the Princess Bride / Porky's. What a weird double-sided coin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
Look, I had to watch Porky's, so you need to watch Princess Bride with an open mind. Because that's what I did for all those movies.
You know what? I owe it to you. And that's what I will do.
Cool. Well, join us.
Birthday wish.
Yeah, join us next week for Dustin's birthday celebration. I'm sure we'll do some other fun stuff too. We'll come up with something. We got to do something special.
I don't know if I'll be here, but
well, what's the point, man? Let's just you know what? We're totally gonna watch The Princess Bride.
Yeah.
Everybody watch Spinal Tap.
Adios.
See ya.
Yeah. Later, everybody.